I want to talk about releasing your lower energy constrictions or identity, and how that allows you to actually be empowered. So we live in a world where it seems like power is the answer to get the things we want, and finesse is often overlooked. But when it comes to thoughts, it's actually the higher frequency thoughts which are ultimately more powerful. For example, the emotion of love rather is more potent and powerful in the end than fear. People can overcome their fears through love. That doesn't mean that fear isn't a very real thing. And it's my experience that as I allow the higher energies in my life, I try to step out of my thinking mind regularly through meditation, being in nature, and connect with my heart. I find an identity there that's quite different to how I would perhaps identify myself normally. Normally I would identify with my past experiences. And of course that's very limiting in many ways, and it's probably a survival mechanism to help us prevent repeating negative experiences. But it can steal the adventure and the positivity that may be required to really get us to where we want to be. And I've really discovered just very much lately that if I can release my thoughts about identity, who I am, allow my awareness of self and being to permeate, I start to see myself or feel I'm something different to how I identify with. And then I start to understand how much fear and restriction there is in my normal identity, what I would normally associate myself with, who I am. And suddenly doors seem to open for me as possibilities in my mind that I couldn't even entertain on a more logical level. And I think that is one of the great powers we have, is to be able to imagine and dream of better futures, better selves, and bring that into reality. And the fear is that that's not realistic, that's a pipe dream. But in reality, I believe that is possible. But in order for it to happen, we need to lean into it and need to accept that the higher self is a reality. That's how I believe we really manifest what we are capable of, who we truly can be. That's our greatest potential.